I made this 1988 US standard Strat better. Hi folks, very warm welcome back to Darren's Gear Hangout, and today we are talking modifying guitars, mainly this Fender US 88 standard Stratocaster, which is no longer standard. Before we go any further, please press that like button, click subscribe for more content like this, and let me know in the comment section below, what modifications do you do to your Stratocasters or any other guitar, and what's your ethos on modifying guitars? Historically, I do not modify my guitars apart from Stratocasters. I've owned more Stratocasters than any other guitar, and I've modded every single one of them. I've ripped out all the electronics and just put in a bridge humbucker. That is it. But this guitar, it's a US standard Strat, 3 single coil pickups, it came with stock, but I always had a problem with the bridge single coil. Being as this is one of my main gigging guitars, I always take a single coil guitar and a humbucker guitar to a gig with me. I found it lacking. Sometimes I don't get the opportunity to change guitars between songs, so having one guitar that does more stuff is a lot easier than having to switch and pick up an SG or my Jazzmaster. But this is my main single coil guitar. It's the one I take out with me every single gig. But again, that bridge single coil just wasn't doing it. Quick bit of story time. This pickup was surplus to requirement for a friend after I took another guitar to someone to get it set up and the pickup changed. So I said, what are you doing with the JB Junior? So here it is. And it does make this guitar a lot more versatile without the need of having to change guitars mid-songs or change guitars between songs even. So I'm going to give some quick tone demos, quick demo track, and then I will talk you through what I like and what I don't like about this modification to this guitar. Okay, on to the tone part of the video. We're going to go through some tones from the Seymour Duncan JB Junior in this 88 Strat. It's worth mentioning we're going to look at position 1 and position 2 in this video, only because the JB Junior pickup will only affect position 1 and position 2. The only caveat really is the fact that the TBX tone control will be adjusted through this, but I'll go over that as and when. But here's a clean tone with everything on full, apart from the TBX, which is technically on 5. There's a notch, but I'll go into it. Okay, so that is the tone position on full, on half, sorry. I'll take it down to 0. Back up to 5, or the middle position on the tone control. And I'm going to whack it all the way up. I'm going to put it back to 5. I'm going to give you position 2 now, which is the bridge and the middle pickup together for some of those spunky type stuff. And if I take the tone control down, and I whack it all the way up to 10. Okay, let's give it a bit of dirt. So I'm just going to put a tube screamer on for this one. Bridge position, TBX tone control on 5/middle. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, see what it's like. So I think the pickup is still driving it a little bit, but it's not a super hot pickup. Also, if you want to know what preset I'm using with everything, it'll be in the video description of the video here. Free presets in the Google Drive. Go and grab them. Enjoy. So I'm going to put the TBX tone control pot on this sound all the way up. I'm going to put it all the way down. Oof. No idea what that was. Anyway, tone control all the way back up to the top. And back at 5. Okay, let's put some full drive on. Put the TBX all the way down. And all the way up. I just find if I put it down to 5, it is clear. I don't know, there's a darkness to it. I think it might be the mids, I don't know, but there's a darkness to it. I don't know how it's going to come across in YouTube land. But all the way down. Middle. Where is it? Where's the notch? There's the notch. And then all the way up. Position 4. Or position 2, sorry, all the way down. 5 on the tone, and then all the way up. My preference is obviously going to be probably about all the way up on the bridge and just go. Poppity punkety! So what I do like about this particular modification, it adds a humbucker without any routing needed. I don't need a new scratch plate. It just adds a humbucker, a bridge humbucker. I can actually do a lot with a HSS configuration, more so than I can with 3 single coils or 2 humbuckers. I've actually worked it out and I can use this one guitar to get more authentic tones for the songs that I'm doing for about 90% of my set. Whereas what I'd normally be doing is putting this down, picking up the SG or the Jazzmaster, putting that down, picking the Strat back up, so on and so forth. And the way that our sets are spaced out, I need to chop and change quite heavily. But now, I do not have to. I'm still going to take 2 guitars to gigs. I'm going to need a backup, and sometimes I just want a different feel. But this will now do absolutely everything. What I don't like, first thing, it's my own fault. It's black. It looks out of place. but also quite cool in the same way, but it does look out of place. The second thing I found is, even though it does sound good, the JB Junior actually sounds quite dark. I've seen a couple of other videos where some people say it does sound very, very dark, but you've got to wire it in a particular way. So the guy that actually modded this guitar for me, he sorted it all out, done all the wiring, wired it to the TBX tone control on here. Now, with the bridge single coil, the TBX tone control was on about 5 or 6, which means that it was just sort of adding a little bit more sparkle. But I've actually got to whack the humbucker on here all the way up in terms of tone to 10. With some drives, it can sound really, really dark, whereas with any other guitar, it doesn't sound dark. It sounds bright, it sounds crisp, and it sounds quite high mid, and it can cut through and makes lovely. But with this one, I do need to do a little bit of extra EQing. Now, I haven't actually played a gig with this guitar yet, which I'm playing tonight, so that may all change, and I'll probably do a retraction video or put something in the comments to say, whoops, I got it wrong. But from playing in the studio and doing some recording with it, the one thing I have actually found is it is very dark in its tonality. However, in position 2, it does the nice little sort of like trebly spanky, funky stuff, but I am actually enjoying it, and I think I'm enjoying this guitar a lot more now it's had this pickup in it. The reason I don't modify guitars is I strongly believe that a guitar is built in a particular way for a particular thing, and that's how it should be. That's how the person who made it or designed it envisioned that guitar to be. So I'm not a heavy modder apart from when it comes to Strats. I've always found Strats more accessible to me than any other guitar. If I want a Strat or I want to look for a Strat, there's always Strats available. Something like that isn't always available. Something like that or that isn't always available. So it's a more accessible guitar if I need a guitar on a whim. And they're pretty consistent across the board. The only thing I don't like about certain Strats is the modern C profile neck. As long as it's got a humbucker in it, I think I'll be alright. And the trem has to be hardtailed. The springs tightened, the block put in. I cannot be doing with a tremolo system. But that being said, this Strat is now a little bit less Stratty and a little bit more versatile. I don't know. I personally think the most versatile of any guitar is going to be a Telecaster without any modification. So Leo Fender, I think they did right the first time with something like this rather than something like this. Stratocasters tend to be more heavy mod platforms than Telecasters like this, but this is a beauty. Look at that. Oh, it's stunning. I nearly soaked this week. What's going on? But I won't turn this into a rant about modding guitars. That's not what this is meant to be. It's more about just saying, hey, look, I've made a Stratocaster better. And it truly, truly is better. But now I've got to go. I've got to pack up all my shit, go and gig this guitar for a few hours tonight, and see how it pans out. Until next time, I will see you again very, very soon. He's not a Strat guy, but he's got loads of Strats. What the fuck is he talking about? Oh. Whoops. I'm my own worst enemy.